Hey Sneak Peekers, it's Victoria Vargas at the red carpet of the ATX Television Festival. We're about to interview a ton of casts from popular TV shows, so stay tuned. What initially inspired you to create the ATX Television Festival?
We needed jobs. I mean, really, we looked for one to go to or to go work for and didn't find one. And so then it was, what do you want to go to? What do other people want to go to? And it just sort of snowballed with people we knew and mentors and things like that saying I would go to one. And it was born.
That's awesome. And what has it meant to the two of you to receive such great support from the industry and from Austin and all that?
It's been pretty incredible, and especially after the first year, which was so small, to really have it have such a loud voice and to have people actually recognize it and understand that this is a great place for fans and industry to come together. It's pretty incredible to see who agrees to come and is excited to come. And I mean, our panelists this year are outstanding and people that we never dreamed would all come together, especially the same year.
Yeah.
Also, do you have any advice for students looking to break into the industry?
We were both interns in the industry. I got my first job out of internships. I did internships sophomore through senior year, and we met as assistants on the Fox lot. So really getting in there and just creating relationships, because so much of it is who you know in a good way, not like nepotism, but really they don't know to call you if they don't know you exist kind of thing.
Actually, both of our first jobs came out of internships.
Yep.
So, I mean, the entertainment industry, you do work for free when you start out, but it really is just getting in the door and being willing to try new things and try things that you aren't even sure that you're like whether or not you love, but just getting into the door of the entertainment industry as an intern was great for both of us.
Absolutely.
That's awesome advice. And also, finally, if you could play any character on any television show, who would you be?
It would be Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I haven't been asked this one. I keep saying, really, this year my favorite show is The Americans. So Carrie Russell on The Americans is pretty awesome. So I would pick that today. That's a good answer.
What drew you to becoming an ambassador for the ATX Television Festival?
Well, I'm good friends with the girls. I wasn't before my first appearance, but I became. We got close after my second time at the festival, but also I've when they weren't asking me to, I was saying lovely things about it. So I was already unofficially an ambassador for the festival. They just sort of offered me an official position, so that's what drew me.
Nice. Okay. So also a question we're asking a lot of people is, if you could be any character on any television show, who would you be?
Oh God. Maybe Kenny Powers from Eastbound and Down.
Interesting. Why? Can you elaborate a little more?
What, you mean in real life?
Yeah, in real life.
God, no, I thought you meant could I play? No, I wouldn't want to be him in real life. He's a piece of shit. No, I just think he's an amazing character. You know what's funny is I am in a lot of ways. This isn't funny. I don't know why I said that, but I am very much like my character on Revenge in a lot of ways. In certain other ways, I want to deck him because he's a pussy. Yeah, I think I'd go with him.
Okay, awesome. That's perfect. Also, do you have any advice for students looking to pursue a career in television or film or the entertainment industry?
Yeah, I guess I would say I think it's a business that rewards persistence, and so you have to work hard and not give up. But at the same time, I'd have something else that you love, that you, or at least that you're doing for income, because it gets a bit tricky once this is your main source of not only money, but emotional income, so I would advise people to have other things going on, other places to draw self-worth from. Yeah, and just work your balls off.
So, what initially drew you to your character?
The writing. It's always the writing first. The characters were all detailed and complex, and they had aspects to them that were either direct conflicts or just certainly contrasting, aspects to who they are. My character, I loved it because, just a second, Harley break. All right, you should be wearing a helmet, sir.
Yes, safety first.
So, my character in particular, in the pilot, you see one picture in the very first episode of Kingdom. You see one image of who this guy is. He's very contrite and humble, and penitent. And then you hear everybody else speaking about him and saying that he's an animal and he's a killer and he's a diva. And then you also see on his chest this tattoo that just says Destroyer. And so it's an interesting juxtaposition. I thought that's a really detailed place to start. He's coming out of prison, and we can only go further from there.
Right. So, what do you most look forward to for your character in this next season?
The season that we're starting to air right now, in the first season, again, Ryan's trying to rebuild. In the second season, he starts to do a 180 and begins to gain his confidence again and gain footing and look a little more like the superstar everyone refers to him as, and get a little bit more attitude and arrogance. And then the third season, or the second half of season 2, which we're airing right now, the major shift happens again where he loses footing. He's lost his dad. Everyone who's meaningful in his life is in some way estranged or has diminished or has disappeared entirely. So Ryan is kind of scrambling for some kind of foundation.
Awesome. And then also, what was it like filming the second season after the show received such great reception in the first season?
Well, it's funny, we kind of, the show has, to a certain extent, like, we've gotten a lot of critical support, and the press have been really great, and our fans have been really supportive, but we've still flown under the radar a little bit, and we continued to through the second season, and now I think we're starting to emerge a little bit more widely. But we've been out. The precious thing of that was, in terms of staying under the radar, was that we were able to, I think, kind of stay the course on all the levels that kind of made us who we are. So what I'm trying to say is, it was sort of like we were in an incubator, and we got to go back to work and dive fully into this project that we all believed in so much and worked really hard on. And there wasn't any interruption or distraction in terms of what people were saying or, that kind of thing. It was just, it kept it really pure. And so now we already have 30 episodes in the can, and it's starting to surface a little bit more, and I feel like it's not going to shake us off course. So I'm really happy about that.
So it's been 5 years since Friday Night Lights ended. What is it like finally getting to reunite with the cast this weekend?
We see, I've seen cast members at different events over the years, but to have a formal reunion, ATX has done a reunion every year. This is the last one. This is the 10-year reunion. And they're doing it in a way that I think honors the show so beautifully. And what has been so beautiful about this experience is that we can connect with fans in a way that we couldn't when the show was on, because it didn't have the kind of viewership and ratings that really it has now. So for the opportunity to for us to interact with those fans is going to be amazing. I can't wait.
Right, I'm sure. And also, so how has your career changed since you were a part of Friday Night Lights?
Wow. So it's been 10 years. A lot has changed. And I think if you ask any one of the cast members, for so many people, it really was the thing that launched their careers. I came into Friday Night Lights, I'd already been acting for 15 years, but certainly the trajectory of my career completely changed. I played a series regular on a period drama. I was on last season of HBO's The Leftovers, and all of that. Even now, when I meet somebody new in the industry, when I talk to a casting director or a producer, most of them know and appreciate Friday Night Lights, and that's kind of a longevity that a lot of TV show experiences don't have.
Right. Why do you think it's had like such wide reception and been so successful even after it's ended?
I really think because it's not a show about football, it's a show about relationships and about people kind of trying to find their way in a number of different settings and stories. And for sure, the heart of that's what people connect to. Just like any good TV, any good story, it's not the thing, it's the people and the relationships, you know?
Awesome. And lastly, do you have any advice for students looking to break into the industry?
The advice that I'd give any student breaking into the industry, the fact that you're interested in it is a great sign. Follow your passion. That's what I would say. Don't make it about money or about how easy of a go. If you're passionate about what you do, you'll put the work in to master whatever field it is that you're interested in, and follow that passion. Listen to your gut, to your instinct, whatever that is, however you want to define that, and you'll be successful. There's no doubt.
So can you tell us a little more about your character? What initially drew you to her?
Teresa Mendoza is a very strong woman. She's a woman that struggled to survive in Mexico, came from very poor life circumstances, and then just keeps on trying, surviving, even though her journey is a bit harsh. She's a character that never victimized herself and is very pragmatic. So that's the main reason that I signed up for this project, was that I read this book 8 years ago and I completely fell in love because of her. So it's a very special character.
Awesome. So the show is based on a popular book and also the Spanish telenovela. So how did their successes end up affecting how you chose to approach your role?
It's interesting because I read the book 8 years ago, even before all of this happened with the book, and I was very excited that they made the telenovela, because when I read it, I thought this is an amazing story, and even though I wanted to play, I ended up just doing other projects. When I saw the telenovela being made, I was very excited because it's such a beautiful character for a woman to play. So when they called me, I kind of couldn't believe, because 8 years afterward, that project was coming on my direction. And I think it's great. The writers decided to go on a little bit of a different journey from the book. They kind of recreate how she becomes the drug lord that she becomes. And I think that's the main difference from the telenovela. So I think it's interesting because one show is going to complement the other. Mainly the character is the same. I try to honor the book, who she is in the book. Excuse me. I try to honor her in the book through her personality or her strength or who she is.
Awesome. And what do you hope that people take away from the TV show?
I hope people enjoy. It's a very entertaining show. There's a lot of action, there's a lot of drama. I think it's a beautiful journey of a human being just trying to survive and trying to have a better life, and not in the sense of money and power, but in the sense of a human being, of being safe.
What initially drew you to Queen of the South?
Honestly, it was the character, because he was very much someone who was a real man, and that might sound strange, but as a young actor, I've always played adolescents, or young men, guys who are still learning who they are, and they're still kind of, in a formative stage. Whereas this guy, he was a real man, and I'm in that stage myself where, I'm just discovering my real manhood. And so it was a real challenge, someone who hadn't played before. And so it's just about playing different characters. And then, I discovered a little bit about the world. And I also like playing a kind of strong character for once. Because usually, I'm not going to lie, I usually play the kind of pretty boy love interest who's all romantic and But now I play a bit of a badass who kind of roughs people up. So, I wanted to challenge myself and see what I could do with that.
So what do you think makes this show different from all the shows on air right now?
I think what makes it different is that it has so many elements that all the shows have, but it puts it together in one kind of package. So, it has a really compelling human story. It's a real interesting mix of like that kind of artistic, slow-burning, powerful, deep drama, but also with that kind of element of a fast-paced thriller. And so I don't know many shows which can blend that as well, which is having also so many unknowns, twists and turns. You think you know a character or a situation, and then it's going to flip on its head, like my character especially. You think you might know him in the first couple of episodes, but halfway through or towards the end, you're going to see turns and turns. So there's always new things to discover.
Also, do you have any advice for students looking to break into the industry?
I would say the best thing to do is just be good at your craft. We all know that connections can help, but someone like me, who grew up like in a very small town in the south of England with parents who didn't know anything about this, the only way I knew was to, be good at my job. And so I studied 4 years of classical theatre, and then I worked on the stage, and then I made a slow transition into screen stuff. So it's been almost a 10-year process, And I think that's it. People think that all of a sudden you can just be in the right place at the right time, and that happens like 0.001% of the time. Most of the time it's just about, hard work, doing what you can and being good at it. I think just because it's artistic and you can't exactly quantify what it means to be good doesn't mean you can't try or at least be dedicated. Like any other thing, you'd have to go to school and learn. But some people think, I'm going to do a 6-week summer school in acting and then I'm going to be an actor. I'm like, really? Good luck with that. It takes years. Any actor, even the best, will tell you that they keep learning during their career. So you just have to, be good at your job, and the cream eventually rises to the top. And it's a very difficult industry to get in, and you need a good, strong foundation of your personal life because you're always going to get rejections and frustrations and downtime. So you need to know that you're good, and any success is just gravy in life,
Can you tell us a little more about your character and what drew you to this role?
Well, I played Pote. Pote is the hitman. My job is to find Teresa and kill her, and then it becomes a twist, which I become her protector.
Oh, nice. Have you learned anything from your character, or is he drastically different from
Yes,
right?
Definitely different from me. The guy's a very flashy guy. Obviously, he kills for a living. I don't do that. But the character he has a heart. Even though that he lives in that world, he's a killer with a heart. He literally he's good at what he does, but he doesn't take any sadistic pleasure of killing people. So it was a fun role to portray.
Right, I'm sure. And did it make you at all nervous to sign on to this project, given that it was already met with so much success as a Spanish?
I was definitely looking for the challenge, and I respect and admire what they did before us. They did an amazing job, and I'm fans of the actor who portrayed Pote. He's a great guy, did a great job. But it was challenging, so I just make it enough to make a difference from the original, but also being true to the role itself. More instead of the soap opera, more of the novel itself, because that's the beauty of it. But we're all doing the same essence from the book. So.
And lastly, do you have anything you hope that people take away from the TV show?
Watch it, and watch it. No, it's fun. It's good, and it portrays the power of women. This is not the men in power; it's women in power, which is a great thing.